Hey guys, just yesterday a new trailer has been released for Tomb Raider 4, 5, 6 Remastered, highlighting some of the bosses you will encounter in this Darkness Trilogy as they decided to call it, although I guess we could call it Joan L. Elliott Trilogy, that would be more appropriate. And yeah, I just wanted to go through this trailer with you since I'm all over any news for this Remastered Trilogy. And in case you haven't seen it, I'm gonna play the trailer for you first. It's just 47 seconds long, and then I'm gonna see you and analyze it screen by screen just to see if we can learn anything new in anticipation for the Remastered Trilogy to come out in just 1 month. Anywho, let the trailer begin. Now, since my internet connection is a bit shit today, I'm gonna play the trailer locally for you guys, not from YouTube directly or anything like that, but let me mute it first. And I would sort of like to go through screen by screen. So the very first opening shot is essentially Lara triggering the appearance of her golden doppelganger in a sense. It's a golden statue in Cleopatra's palaces. That actually serves as an excellent target dummy in the game, because dealing damage to it deals damage to you, so you're able to directly compare the effect and punch your different weapons have, right? Which is kind of awesome. But that again just makes me wish for toggleable health bars for all enemies Lara is locked on. A feature I was hoping for 1 to 3 Remastered, but it's not there. Maybe it will make it to 4, 5, 6, but no, probably not. They are sticking to the philosophy of bosses only or nobody. Okay, but let's move on. And here we see the door opening for one of the creepiest bosses of Last Revelation, in my opinion. So these are, let's just wait for the sort of close-up shot. These are Cleopatra's guardians, or guards, so to speak. So despite the fact that the trailer only shows one, they come in pair, which makes them tough. And there's an achievement that was leaked called Octavian's Legacy, which essentially asks you guys to take down both of them using only pistols and not taking any damage. Now, I tried not to take any damage in my 2021 Let's Play through the original version of Tomb Raider 4, and I was using explosive arrows for the crossbow, and I still failed, right? So this will be a tough one. Reminds me of the one in Lost City of Tinos in Tomb Raider 3, where you're supposed to take down 3 mutants using Lara's pistols and not take any damage. Gonna be a similar challenge, I imagine. But these guys received sort of an update to the way they look. Now, they still creep me out because they wear these almost human-like burial masks, but they make these groaning noises like grrr, that just unnerve me so much, especially given that they have an almost human-like face on that mask. You don't really know what they look like underneath. It's incredibly creepy, which is great. It's really cool. And the fact that Lara triggers the appearance of them just because she's prideful and cocky and sits on Cleopatra's throne, that's perfect characterization of Lara. Anywho, so we'll see, but yeah, nothing really sort of shockingly new here or anything, the sort of upscale I would expect. Let us move on. Okay, so this is the big one. Can Seth just... Okay, open up his embrace, probably not. Let me scroll this back somewhat. Okay, I think this is the best shot of Seth we will get here. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised that they're showing the final boss of Tomb Raider 4 just like that. Okay, sure, why not? I mean, vast majority of people playing these will probably be people who already know Last Revelation really well, not new players, but for new players I find it a bit of an odd decision, right? So Seth was always a big disappointment for me because you don't actually get to fight him at all, or you can at least juggle him around using revolver. That's fun, but you just have to escape, which to me is I mean, yeah, he's a god, makes sense, but it's incredibly lame. I wish it would be a multi-staged fight where you would have to actually damage him before being able to outrun him or something like that, but alas. So anyway, really one of the biggest disappointments for me personally, Seth, but he seems to look really cool, and I'm willing to bet anything they again use the way he looked in FMVs throughout Last Revelation as an inspiration for how to create his new model for the remaster. Similar approach like with Lara, right? Unfortunately, the way they showcase him here inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, or the Temple of Horrors more specifically, it's really, really dark. So we don't actually get a good look at him, despite the fact that's what the trailer is dedicated for. Let's maybe move a bit further. Oh, that was his charging attack with the giant explosive star, whereas these are his individual magical missiles. All sorts of fun with the splash damage there. Yeah, again, Seth is just very dark here. We don't get a good look at him. Maybe that was an intentional compromise, like you're gonna get to see him better when you play the game and we don't want to really reveal every detail. Probably wasn't the intention, but that's how it turned out. And there we go, Seth, Tomb Raider, The Last Revelation. Okay, now this, guys, is kind of the highlight of everyone's whose reaction I've seen so far to this trailer, and that's of course the biggest mystery, Angel of Darkness. Now, like I said in my previous video, I only played Angel of Darkness to completion twice in my life, so I am really hardly an authority on the game or anything like that. What I see here looks like these are old textures and old graphics, but mixed with some really good and new lighting. I don't know how to make sense of this. Remember in the original announcement trailer, when we looked at any Angel of Darkness footage, we had this weird, almost sickly zombie-like looking model of Lara, and all the environments looked just how we remember them in the original, but not with any touch-ups or upscales or anything. And I still get the impression that's the case here, but the shadows are a bit better. Does that make sense? So I still feel like they're not ready to showcase the new graphics of Angel of Darkness, or maybe... Okay, hear me out. Maybe there aren't even gonna be new graphics in Angel of Darkness because the original ones are a bit more modern than 1 to 5. I don't know, but it has me a bit concerned. We're only a month away from the release, and these aren't the sorts of graphics that would wow me. Like, let's say, you know, just seeing the texture work in Lara's home in Tomb Raider 1 upon booting up the 1, 2, 3 Remastered Trilogy a year ago, okay? But still, I like the way the shadows reflect underneath those statues, one of them carrying the Obscura painting. And talking about Obscura painting, let's meet the most hated boss of Angel of Darkness, Brother Obscura. There he is lurking from the left. Now, very important thing that I'm sure you guys have already, you know, known about since the release of the trailer yesterday, but Lara is finally dual-wielding pistols. Now, we were all hoping this would be the case, because, again, of the leaked achievements list. Now, let me just use my secondary monitor and find out what that achievement was called. 2 of every kind. So find a pair both for Vector R35 and for Scorpion X guns, or maybe Scorpion 10, hard to say. So we knew we are going to be able to find at least 2 different pairs of pistols to use. Now, the ones that Lara's wielding here look very closely reminiscent of the ones in the first Angelina Jolie movie, or the ones Lara's essentially using in Tomb Raider Legend, which I think is really cool, since they want to sort of unify the timelines, so to speak. I still don't know how they're gonna do that, but let's keep our minds open for that. And yeah, so Lara is able to dual wield in Angel of Darkness, so like was leaked via the leaked achievements list, we kind of hoped and knew this would be the case, which is pretty awesome. And what I really want to know is, how exactly will the rate of fire work? Do you get to fire every shot manually? Do you just hold the action key? You know, I have lots of questions about that. She seems to alternate the pistols. You know, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, if you hold the action key and Lara aims with both of her guns, she's gonna fire simultaneously. But here she seems to be doing a bit of an alternation, and I don't know how much of that is the manual player's input, or how much of that is really the gun aiming being desynchronized because she looked at Brother Obscura with just one gun from a certain angle, like you can do in 1 to 5 classics, where you can desynchronize the guns. I don't know exactly how that works here, and I just can't wait to find out. Okay, so Brother Obscura approacheth. Lara backflip back. Now I've seen a couple of people comment that the backflip is something new to Angel of Darkness Remastered, and I'm like, no, it's not. Maybe this is a difference between PC version that I played and many people play the PS2 version, but in PC you can also backflip regardless whether you have your gun out or not. Actually, you know what? Let me show that to you, to show you that I am not lying. Let's just go with Angel of Darkness over here. I'm gonna boot up the game immediately and show you that on PC version that I barely managed to make run yesterday, thanks to the launcher utility. Oh, I really need to improve the resolution. Hearing this main menu theme always makes me happy. Okay, so these are some of the save files I used when I tried to do my original Let's Play of the original just before the Tomb Raider 1 to 3 remasters were announced, and then I kind of abandoned Angel of Darkness altogether. Let me lower the volume somewhat. So, what I want to show you is, if you have your gun out, you can absolutely backflip, even in the original release. If you put the gun down, you can do the same thing, okay? Okay, we had a bit of a slippery slope there, but it doesn't really matter. So, I'm just kind of curious if this was also possible in PS2 version of the game, or anything like that, or not. You guys who are experienced with PS2 can perhaps let me know. Maybe let's even take a look at it somewhere else where we can actually move. Serpent Rouge, has a very high ceiling. Okay, not here in particular. I just want to go out in the open so I can do backflip. My god, can I find such a place in the game, or is it too much to ask? Lara doesn't want to cooperate and open the door. St. Ancard's Church, please. Oh my god. Okay, high ceiling, finally. So, just for demonstration purposes, see, this is the full length of a backflip. If she gets a gun out, same thing. Okay, this is all I wanted to demonstrate. So, let's just quit the game and come back to the trailer. And this is what confused me when people said, oh wow, she can backflip now. She could always, as far as I'm concerned, again, on PC. Could be a PS2 difference. Okay, so this messed up our resolution somewhat, but let me just check OBS, and there we go. So that's all I wanted to show you. Backflips are nothing new, but dual wielding whilst backflipping, yes. But what we don't see here specifically is Lara actually firing whilst backflipping. Let's take a closer look. Because her firing stopped for her to do backflip, and all of us are kind of hoping that, just like in Tomb Raider 1 to 5, where she can sort of keep and maintain fire whilst jumping, that this will somehow be re-implemented into Angel of Darkness, because you cannot actually fire whilst jumping, which is incredibly stupid in Angel of Darkness. Maybe it was supposed to be an unlockable upgrade later on in the game. One of the reasons why Lara feels so clunky in AOD is that the whole idea was someone got the, in my opinion, really stupid idea to introduce RPG mechanics into Tomb Raider game, and they thought, okay, she's really weak and she's gonna get stronger and you're gonna have a whole upgrade system. Generally, the whole Angel of Darkness game just feels like someone throwing ideas that sound cool in it without any real thought, does this actually work together? It was a very mismanaged project. So yeah, that's essentially it. Here we get a close-up of Brother Obscura, the most annoying boss. Now, here's the thing, I mentioned that this is the most hated boss fight of Angel of Darkness, and I feel this is really easily fixable, because one of the reasons it's so disliked is that the mechanics are not at all explained, and this can be fixed easily via just a couple of visual effects. What can be done is when you stun Brother Obscura, there'll be some unique glow or some visual effect telling you that he's stunned, and you can actually grab the Obscura painting or something like that. Or at least give us a visual flair that the shots we're firing at him really do something to essentially get us closer to him being stunned and the Obscura painting becoming available for us to steal, okay? So these are things that can be done with visual upgrades, and also if for Angel of Darkness they'll maintain the boss health bar, like for Tomb Raider 4 and 5, that's again something that could be easily conveyed to the player. You could just have Brother Obscura have a health bar, you shooting at him decreases it, and when it reaches 0 or 1 HP, he will stop moving and will slowly start regenerating, also serving almost like a timer to see how much time you have to grab the Obscura painting. That's just my idea. I'm gonna throw to the developers in case they're watching these sorts of videos, how this could be conveyed really nicely using the natural features of the user interface to the player and make a terrible boss fight into at least an acceptable one. Okay, so that's it for AOD. Oh, now my absolute favorite, the mechanical head from Tomb Raider Chronicles. I love this sort of spidery plateau. It also had this in the original, and the lion statues. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but these are in addition to the remastered. They didn't have lion statues underneath in the original. Interesting. Now I'm also a bit curious that they are even considering this a boss fight, because it's really not a boss. It's not even an enemy. It's more of a trap or an object you have to disarm. And to show you definite proof, we are gonna see a shot of Lara jumping towards it and firing, but in fact notice that Lara's not aiming at the mechanical head. See? She's just firing forwards, but not aiming at it, because it's not an enemy, it's just a physical object, and you actually have to break its eyes using manual aiming via laser sight attached to a revolver. Or I think if you time your shots really well, you can also do it without it, using just your pistols, but that's very difficult. Similar like the destructible gems in Mastaba's level in Tomb Raider 4 Last Revelation. What's really cool, we can see some of the three-dimensional piping in the distance. Maybe that's just gonna be a parallax effect like they used on ladders in Tomb Raider 2 and 3. We'll see. There she is, yeah, using her trusty sight guns. And the laser just dodged Lara, and this is it. This looks really cool. I love the strong lighting effect it also has on the surrounding environment, telling you how close it is to charge up and how close it is to release those deathly rays. My god, was I terrified of this guy when I was a kid. Mechanical head, yeah, they just use very intuitive names, haven't they, to call their bosses. Okay, and sort of the final reveal. This is actually part of a cutscene in Tomb Raider 4 Last Revelation, the Mechanical Horseman. You'll be facing mechanical soldiers across the Lost Library of Alexandria. Actually, my most favorite level of Tomb Raider 4, if I consider Tomb of Set and Burial Chambers separate. If I was to consider them as one level, they would beat Lost Library in my opinion, but this is like one of the best levels in the game. And after the cutscene, it transitions into backflipping and shotgunning. There we go, Mechanical Horseman, its weak spot being the gem in his chest. Very difficult to hit given he's on a horse. Fun fact, and there's a bug that at least worked for me on PC version of the game, where just before triggering the Mechanical Horseman, you can fire a grenade from grenade launcher. If you do it correctly, you fire the grenade, immediately afterwards trigger the cutscene, and the grenade is within the blast radius of the Mechanical Horseman trying to get on the horse. He will never get up on the horse. You can prevent him from doing that, and he'll effectively become an ordinary mechanical soldier. I'm gonna try this out when we'll tackle Tomb Raider 4 Remastered to see if the bug is preserved. But you can essentially prevent the Mechanical Horseman from becoming a horseman at all in the original PC release, which is absolutely hilarious and still be killable. But this way you would avoid triggering a cool cutscene and a cool boss fight and that sort of thing. So there's pros and cons to everything, okay? So yeah, this is really interesting, and this is sort of the final reveal of the trailer, and here we are. And again guys, not a single mention of Saber Studios. Again, I don't know if perhaps the same people that worked under the header of Saber are working on these remasters, and perhaps there was just a bit of internal restructuring and now they're all under the header of Aspyr, not just as publisher but as developer. I don't know, but it has me concerned. I would love nothing more than to learn it's the same people that worked on 1, 2, 3 Remastered, on the 4, 5, 6. But alas, they're being very secretive. I don't know why. Maybe it's just renaming, maybe they just don't consider it a priority, or maybe the entire time it's different people working on these than 1, 2, 3 Remastered, so that they could actually launch them so quickly. Maybe they're just sharing some code, some nodes, helping out each other, that sort of thing. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in months' time when we'll check the credits. And that's all as far as the trailer is concerned, right? So, very brief, just highlight some of the bosses. Honestly, the thing that got me excited the most was just seeing the visual updates to the mechanical head, which I would consider a trap, not a boss fight, but that's Rhetorix, doesn't matter. It was really interesting to see, for me to see the lion statues, the sort of 3D plumbing in the distance, that sort of thing. What I'm really hoping for is honestly, as far as Tomb Raider 4 Last Revelation goes, nothing visually really struck me as a significant improvement yet, outside of some of the screenshots of the main menu we've seen, and I'm hoping this will still be touched up. So far, all I see is slightly improved lighting and better textures. That's it. I would like some visual flair, some detail, some pieces of vegetation, some cracks in the walls, that sort of thing. You know, things that actually took a couple of major patches to implement into 1.2.3 Remastered. We'll see. As it pertains to Angel of Darkness, I don't know, guys. Please, those of you who are actually experienced with AOD, please let me know. But it looks to me kind of just like the original, but Brother Obscura and Lara having a new updated model, right? And I've seen also some really good shadow work behind those Obscura painting statues, but nothing really that would scream, oh, these are new textures, or this is the remastered graphics. It really just looks like the original with updated 3D models of characters. Does it make sense? Hopefully I'll be blown away, because I feel Angel of Darkness, more than any other game, has the potential to be drop-dead gorgeous. I mean, it takes place in Paris, Jesus Christ. I mean, please, Aspire, don't miss this opportunity to make it visually absolutely stunning, you know? And I'm a superficial slut. Seeing Angel of Darkness being the most visually beautiful game is gonna increase my enjoyment of playing it tenfold, right? So that's what I'm hoping for. One point I'd like to also discuss in this video that I haven't really before, and I haven't really thought about it, but Chris from Raidercast had an excellent point. You know how in 1.2.3 Remastered you can seamlessly transition between the games from the main menu using up and down keys, because the menus are circular, as in use the side keys to toggle between different options. Well, at least in the original Tomb Raider 4, 5 and 6, you toggle between the options vertically from up and down. So maybe this time you'll be cycling between the games from the main menus, if at all this will be possible. By the way, we have received no confirmation. We all just assume that because of 1.2.3 Remastered, that you will be toggling in between the games this time horizontally. So you go left to Tomb Raider 4, or you go right to Chronicles and Angel of Darkness, and maybe from Angel of Darkness you press right again and you move on to some link to Society of Raiders or something like that. We'll see. So this is still a bit of a mystery how that's gonna work, and again, I'm gonna be quite impressed if they'll manage to pull this off, given Angel of Darkness is a completely different engine, right? We'll see. Maybe toggling will only be possible between 4 and 5. Imagine having both collections installed and being able to seamlessly transition all the way from Tomb Raider 1 to Angel of Darkness. Okay, now I'm exaggerating, of course, but how cool would that be, right? Okay, guys, and one final thing, I really hope that there'll be a physical release. Now, unfortunately, as a PC player, I feel almost being taken advantage of by limited run games, because only the hardcore collector's edition for 1.2.3 was available for PC, which purchasing it, paying the local tax, and then importing it to Slovakia would cost me almost 400 euros, so of course I didn't get it, because I'm not crazy. As it pertains to the normal physical or the deluxe physical, those were only possible on consoles, not on PC, and that annoys me to no end. I don't think this is even on Aspire. This is something limited run games do often, where they know that the target audience that care about physical media is mostly PC players, so they want to squeeze us dry as much as possible and only let the PC physical releases be released via the biggest collector's editions, which is, it pisses me off. Anywho, I got the physical for Switch Deluxe and I got the normal physical for PlayStation 5, and I think I'll be doing the same for 4, 5, 6 Remastered, assuming there'll be a demand, which I think there will, but that there'll be actual physical releases of these available. I really hope so, okay? So that's it, these are my thoughts for the trailer. Oh, and one correction I'd like to make regarding a point I raised in my previous video for the Legend Anniversary Underworld Trilogy. The PS2 port that's now available on PlayStation Store for Legend is not actually available via streaming, but downloading locally into your PS4 or PS5. So that's a bit better than I thought. I confused the PlayStation Premium with the PlayStation Classics catalog when you're subscribed, and as someone who doesn't subscribe to any such services because I want to have full control over my money, I confused the two subscription tiers ever since PlayStation did the huge rebranding. I think, what was it, 2 years ago or something like that? So, sorry about that. You can download it locally on your console and play it, but it's still just PS2 emulated version. Now, a couple of you guys have reached out to me saying that LAU Trilogy remaster is not gonna happen. It's most likely that it's gonna be the PS2 port for Anniversary and Underworld, making it to modern consoles. I can see your point, because why the hell would they even bother with this Legend port re-release in a sense? But I really hope you're wrong, because this isn't gonna solve the accessibility problem for people outside of PlayStation platform, Xbox and Switch users, and also I feel like us PC players also deserve a proper port that we don't have to fix with billion fan-made utilities. Now, to be fair, I'm mostly talking about Tomb Raider Legend, which is a disastrous PC port. Anniversary is fine, it can run even on my refrigerator, it's actually really smooth, although visually not particularly good. An Underworld PC port is good, as long as you don't try to use a controller, I guess. Anywho, and there's of course the story DLC, right? That was unique and exclusive to Xbox. I still feel, despite the fact how Legend was released and now via PS2 emulation, I see a need and a niche and a gap and a demand for LAU proper remastered. And the fact that next year in 2026 is gonna be the 20th anniversary of Legend, that's just too good to ignore. But again, ultimately, let's keep our expectations low so that we won't be disappointed, okay? Now, finally, if any of the developers currently working on 456 Remastered are watching this, and I assume lots of you guys are watching videos like these from also other more prominent YouTubers, that sort of thing, but you cannot really comment because, you know, you're working on a project. Just know that hope you guys are doing good. I do hope you're not crunching, and after 123 Remastered, I have faith in you. Even if you're not exactly the same people working on 456, if you're at least cooperating with the original devs on the previous remastered package, that brings me hope that this is gonna turn out fine. But ultimately, we will see in 1 month's time. So those are my thoughts for a very brief trailer. Guys, hopefully you found something of value or interesting in this kind of analysis. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section, whether you're a passionate fan of Angel of Darkness or you passionately hate Angel of Darkness. I seem to be getting comments from these two types of people mostly. Guys, it's okay to like and dislike certain parts of the franchise as long as we all care about the franchise. And if another fan of the franchise enjoys a different game than you do, please be respectful, okay? It's completely fine. We all love Lara Croft in our own unique way, and we all prefer different spins on Lara. It's also, by the way, completely legal and okay to love the Survivor Trilogy, okay? I just want to put it out there. Don't be ashamed to say you like that one as well. I also enjoy the Survivor Trilogy, although I do have my criticism. Okay, guys? So that's it, and next time you'll see me, we'll be tackling Old Witch in Tomb Raider 3. All the footage is already recorded. I just need to edit the whole damn thing. It's gonna be a long video. That's where I'm gonna see you next, and of course, I'm gonna see you on 14th or 15th February, depending on when in Slovakia the 456 Remastered will be out. And I'm gonna do a bit of a special video covering how the release is on launch day, okay? Until then, I wish all of you happy raiding.